People is pleased to present 40 Days 40 Fintechs, an initiative under its Include Everyone program, as it continues to lead the way in advocacy for the creation and dissemination of technology that enables financial inclusivity. The 40 Days 40 Fintechs is shining a spotlight on those that are breaking down digital barriers and bringing millions more on the continent into the transactional space and transforming their lives for the better.
Laina Finance is a digital financial service provider providing instant credit at the point of purchase for consumers, enabling them to have flexible payment options for purchases of goods and services. We didn't start as Laina, we started as a company that was doing debt collection. And the idea was we spotted gaps and inefficiencies within the financial sector and the credit industry. And we wanted to understand why this is the situation as is, in terms of the interest rates, in terms of non-performing loans. And that's why we started as a debt collection company to understand what are the challenges that the financial sector is facing when it comes to credit collection and things like that. And after 2 years of operating as a debt collecting company, then we sold the company and started Laina Finance. When at that time now we had already been able to build our own scoring engine that can actually establish strong prediction of the likelihood of a customer to default or not, and at the same time what is the fair affordable rate or limit for that customer. So that was in 2018, Laina was established. 2019 we started piloting in collaboration with Vodacom, which is our anchor partner in rolling out of the device financing solution. And we extended we were offering payment plans for Vodacom subscribers, enabling them to buy mobile phones, smartphones, transforming them from 2G to 4G, and while making them to pay on installment. And that is what we've been doing. We did the pilot for like 6-8 months. Then we had a rollout, countrywide rollout, where now we are supporting Vodacom subscribers as well as non-Vodacom subscribers to be able to purchase goods and services. So why we entered that space, it's because there is a big opportunity in creation, or I would say there's lack of credit-based payment options, which is something that we are trying to dominate. So in developed markets, there is credit card, where you go to purchase anything, you can just get instant credit decision and purchase goods and services and then pay on installment. That is a space that we are trying to address. We know, because we are addressing the issue of affordability, we are also at the same time we're supporting businesses to grow, because with introduction of flexible payment options, we can statistically show that businesses, they increase their sales and also eventually profitability to a quite significant percentage. So that is the area that Laina is addressing. And in addition to that, now we are also expanding those credit facility to be compliant to not only conventional but also to be Sharia compliant, simply because close to 50% or late 40s percentage of the Tanzanian populations are Muslims, and they are all exposed to take conventional loans instead of Sharia-compliant loans. So we will be the first digital financial service provider to provide credit facilities that are Sharia-compliant digitally. Definitely in East Africa, most likely in Africa. Currently, we have issued around 7,000 payment plans, that's what we call them, for different consumers in different segments, whether it's government employees or non-government employees or just mobile subscribers, people who don't have bank accounts. So because through our platform, we're able to assess the credit limit of a customer based on even consumption of mobile money. So majority are the unbanked, I would say 70-80%, and the other segment is the salaried employees. Same as I would say even on the space of gender, we say around 24-27% are women, majority are men. Yeah.
Okay.
And we have reached around close to 400 business partners around the country. And yeah, so there is indirect sort of like employment offered to support the growth of these businesses since we started. So our portfolio currently is around $400,000. We have our own payment gateway. We do instant settlement for when a customer accesses goods, when they're buying goods through our system automatically pays the resellers in real time. So we practice that. Customer walks in once they give us their phone number and the national ID number, and we receive the consent to access the information. We do that in real time. So everything, it happens in real time. Once they've gotten the facility, the customer gets a final SMS with a link of a contract that we have entered, so they can see exactly what they have signed up with. And so everything, so purely no paperwork, no physical papers involved in the whole system. Everything is done digitally, instantly, more or less in real time, to enable maximum transparency for the consumers and the partners as well. In addition, we have extended our own USSD, where the customer can actually see the outstanding amount, and every month when they pay, we do communicate what is the total outstanding balance of their facility. The same as we also have our mobile application available in Android and iOS. The main focus has been transparency again. From the application, they can see the summary of the contract, when they started, how many payments have been reflected, because some customers do pay using mobile money, some customer deposit through the bank. So there is a possibility for them to upload all of these payments remotely without having to come into our office, and we can update or effect their repayment schedule and all the outstanding balance and it's all happening we are receiving quite good feedback because of that transparency level. And so at the transaction point, we don't influence the price of a product. That is the agreement between the customer and the seller. So once they have agreed, our payment plan is created from that final agreed price. And it's what is recorded, it's what the customer has full visibility of what they're getting themselves into with all the terms and conditions of service provision. We are in the infant stage. So this year we've been lucky. We won the award for the best fintech providing device financing in Africa. And we were lucky to participate at Vivatech event in France. And it was quite an eye-opener for us to learn that there's something called Africa Arena, which is a platform that has been designed. I think it's coordinated heavily from South Africa, coordinating or creating a sort of like an ecosystem to support fintechs across Africa. And they're organizing different summits in 4 regions of Africa. And so we got to learn that by participating, by winning in those awards, we got to learn that there is a big ecosystem that is available for fintechs, for startups in African markets, in African countries. And Tanzania per se, we are at a very infant stage. We are still trying to coordinate to know where is where, who is who, what are they doing. There is still, by infancy, it means it brings a lot of fears in terms of, will my idea be stolen? Can I go present it to the bank and then will they take my idea and tell me they don't want to do anything with? What is the perception of banks towards fintechs? What is the perception of telcos or different partners towards fintech? That is extremely subjective, depends who you're talking to. But we've been lucky. We have been able to maneuver quite a lot to get the support that we're getting and to reach this point where we've reached. But I think we identified our position in the market, and we strategically positioned ourselves to be a neutral player in that space. However, it is otherwise, I would say the fintech space, it is still tough. because if you are a fintech, if you are in the payment space, if you're not partnership with any of the mobile operators, then most likely your solution will be just a good idea. It might not see a day, or it might just go and have very low traction, because it is quite expensive. So there isn't sufficient supporting mechanisms to support fintech startups yet. They are still coming up, and there is a lot of gaps in terms of knowledge, because it's beyond an idea. When you're trying to support fintechs and trying to support startups, it's beyond an idea. The strength of the team plays quite a big role. The strength of the product and the impact, the potential impact it has, also has quite a big role. Timing as well, you know. So it's all of these factors, then together with the exposure you may get through a partner or through anyone who can help you. That is still not very structured. That's my opinion. So thank you for actually coming up with such initiatives, because I think this is exactly what I meant when I said there is an ecosystem existing out there, and we're still in the infant stage. So it's the movements like this, what 40 Days 40 Fintechs is doing, are the ones that are actually creating a relevance of African startups and fintechs to be noticed and recognized and to be given the right weight. Because I remember when I was in Paris, I was the only one from Tanzania. So when they are saying that there is a fund coming to support startups in Africa, you're like, I'm the only one who can say, can that fund be channeled to Tanzania? You're like, you're the only one. Can we look at other countries? There's like 10 of them or 15, so you don't have a shot. So it's the movements like this that will surface a lot of talents, a lot of startups, fintechs, new innovative ideas, and maybe bridge the gap that we are facing. Like I might have an idea that might not be very relevant in this market, but it might be very relevant on African scale or continent. So movements like this, they expose those kinds of things, and I think it's a great movement, and kudos to that. We have our own website, www.lainafinance.co.tz, Instagram page, Laina Finance. We also have a LinkedIn page, Laina Finance, Facebook page, Laina Finance, and
40 Days 40 Fintechs is presented in proud partnership with Crossleg Technologies, Modus Box, Moduloop Foundation, and Level 1 Projects.